Coming up on OU Nightly, the 10 Commandments Monument is coming down. Big layoffs at Chesapeake Energy, and the presidential candidates just keep coming on to Oklahoma. OU Nightly starts now. Thanks for joining us. Oklahoma has become a favorite landing pad for GOP presidential candidates.
That's right. Last week it was Donald Trump, before that Marco Rubio, and several others. Today the Oklahoma Independent Petroleum Association welcomed two more Republican hopefuls. Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina and former Florida Governor Jeb Bush stopped in, but we haven't confirmed what they were talking about. The event was by invitation only and not open to the public.
The Oklahoma Memorial Stadium is typically full on game day, but the service bars on fans' cell phones usually are not. OU Nightly's Courtney Boggs shows us how the OU Athletic Department is fixing the connection problem.
Can you hear me now? Good. What about now? Good. Can you hear me now? Well, with AT&T's new DOS system, you should be able to hear me anywhere inside Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. This upgraded network will allow fans to be better connected on game day.
When you get such a concentration of people, then obviously the bandwidth gets used up, and it's impossible for your wireless device to function at the same level that it normally does because so many other people are in the same spot trying to use the same tower and get the same response. So what the increased DAS system does is it increases that capacity so that the connectivity is better.
DAS technology improves service by shortening the distance a cellular request must travel. Antennas have been strategically placed around the stadium to distribute more consistent wireless coverage to customers. The OU Athletic Department hopes this stronger network will give fans a more enjoyable game day experience.
We're always thinking about fan experience because when fans come to a game, they want to have the same resources that they have when they're at home, when they're at work. They want to be able to communicate. They want to be able to post information, follow other games. And so we understand that we've got a responsibility to meet that demand, and that's one of the reasons why our technology partners are so important to us.
Thanks to this network boost, Sooner fans will now be able to quickly share OU football's Snapchat and Instagram-worthy plays. Courtney Boggs, OU Nightly.
OU and AT&T are continuing to work together to develop better technology for fans and students. Plans for the future include the installment of a fully wireless system throughout the athletic department.
The 6-foot-tall granite 10 Commandments monument that sits outside the Oklahoma State Capitol is coming down. The State House voted 7-1 yesterday to remove the monument after the state's highest court ruled it violated the Oklahoma Constitution, which prohibits the use of public property to support any system of religion. The monument will be removed by October 12th. Well, we're just about a week into fall. No surprise to be in Oklahoma, and it's still warm outside.
It is still
I'm waiting
warm
for that crisp weather.
I know, I'm ready for the jackets and the boots and everything. I'm ready for it to come.
Yes. So. Mandy, when are we going to be expecting this?
I don't know. Hopefully sometime soon. So Mandy, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, thankfully, we do have some cooler temperatures heading our way. Currently, though, we are still pretty toasty across the state. Norman's sitting right at 84 right now, 85 in Oklahoma City, 86 in Eden. Now, we do have a cold front in the Panhandle, and this might sound kind of weird because we do have winds from the northeast today, but this is another round of a little bit cooler weather sticking in or heading into our state. You can see that's in the Panhandle. So as we head into the overnight hours this evening, we're going to have a little more cooler air starting to pump into the region. Tonight, 74 by 8 o'clock, and as we hit that midnight hour, we're going to be down in the mid-60s. So if you're out and about tonight, definitely want to grab that jacket because it's going to feel pretty chilly, especially with that northerly wind pushing through. And October is almost here. 2 days until October, 10 days until OU Texas, which is exciting for all of us football fans. 31 days until Halloween, 57 days until Thanksgiving. I'll have more on some rain chances later this week, later on in the show. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Mandy. A major Afghan city captured by the Taliban yesterday deepens the government's worries about their defense against Islam militants. Dylan Jasna joins us now in the News Center. Dylan, how deep of a concern is this loss for Afghanistan?
Vanessa, this is the largest city taken by the Taliban since 2001, deepening concerns about Afghanistan's ability to protect its people. Just one day since the city of Kunduz was captured, officials vowed to take it back quickly. Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani says the process is slow because Taliban are using residents as human shields. The president of Planned Parenthood faced a storm of questions and criticism from House Republicans today. Cecile Richards was front and center for both parties to trade shots on Planned Parenthood. The organization is under fire after a series of edited videos surfaced over the summer, causing controversy. And Georgia is set to execute its first female inmate in 70 years today. After a last-minute plea and a letter on behalf of the Pope, the Georgia Board of Pardons and Parole denied clemency for Kellen Gissendanner. She was convicted of murder in 1998 for convincing her lover to kill her husband. Her execution by lethal injection is set for 7 p.m. Eastern. That's what's happening around the nation and the world. Alicia?
Thank you so much, Dylan. Coming up on OU Nightly, we have Keurig that wants to give you the caffeine fix in the evenings with a new product. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
The downturn of the nation's oil and gas production is finally taking its toll on workers at Chesapeake Energy. Officials say they have eliminated 559 positions at Chesapeake Energy in Oklahoma City. Company-wide, the number of job cuts is 740. That's roughly 19% of Chesapeake's Oklahoma City workforce and 15% of its company total workforce. Chesapeake is the second largest natural gas producer in the U.S. The company reported a second quarter loss of over $4 billion in August. And some better news for credit card owners. Lindsey Gomez joins me now with Money Matters. So there's a new feature for credit cards that is actually an anti-theft movement.
That's right, Vanessa. If you have recently received a credit card in the mail, it probably has a mini computer attached to it. Banks have been sending out a new card that has a small metallic chip on the front of them. These chips hold your payment data and provide a unique code specific to each purchase you make. The new cards have to be inserted and held in a credit card reader to complete a transaction. These will have a harder time stealing your information with this new technology. By October 15th, we should all have chips on our cards. And Keurig is getting into the soda machine business. The company, best known for its single-serve pod-based coffee makers, unveiled the Keurig Cold today. The Cold makes soda and other carbonated drinks using plain tap water and pods containing soda flavoring and special beads packed with carbonation. The Cold will cost around $370. The machine comes from Keurig's existing partnership with Coca-Cola. And an internal review shows that more people knew about Volkswagen's cheating scheme than just its top executives. Volkswagen managers may have been in on the secret as early as 2007. A German newspaper claims that software supplier Bosch warned the company years ago not to use the deceiving software for publicly sold cars. Bosch claims it did in fact supply the software, but it was under the impression it was only being used during vehicle testing. And the recent fall in oil prices is hurting oil companies. But how will it impact donations to the University of Oklahoma? OU Nightly's Tyler Jones is on campus with more information. Tyler?
Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, the University of Oklahoma has numerous donors, some of which are energy companies. And when those companies are struggling, that may impact the state as well as the university. But as far as private donations go, that may not be the case.
Oil is apparent all around Norman. New wells are being built, but older ones aren't pumping. This is likely because of the recent drop in oil prices. The drop in prices are hurting energy companies, but Vice President of Development Trent Hall says it won't be hurting donations to the university.
So during times like this, those industries, those others outside the energy related, really kind of pick up some of the opportunity that we may have had there.
Hall says this is because they know when to ask and when not to ask for donations. And he is happy to report that the university has never had a donor not fulfill their donation promise.
But I'm proud to say, not one company, not one family, Not one industry related to the energy has said no. They may have delayed their gifts a little bit, but they're all saying, yes, we want to make an impact.
Now, this may make some think about the Harold Hamm incident of last year, where it was reported that he withdrew a $25 million donation. But in that case, the university actually withdrew their proposal for a donation from him. And Lindsey, I'm just really glad to hear from Tripp Hall that, you know, the university won't actually see that much of an impact as far as donations go.
Yes, Tyler, I'm happy to hear that donations are going to keep coming and that OU students will not have to take on that burden.
Yeah, that's great news. I mean, we've seen that the oil in production, that's affecting now Chesapeake. That's the big news today, jobs. Chesapeake. And then it's also affecting, as we see, the stadium workers that have been working on our stadium here. So it's great to know that those donations are still coming in for students.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lindsey. The Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics gets $500,000 to fight prescription drug abuse. The $500,000 will improve the agency's prescription monitoring program. Oklahoma ranks first in the nation for prescription drug painkillers abuse and averages nearly 800 drug-related deaths each year.
And still to come, the bye week is over. It's time to get back to some OU football this weekend. OU Nightly Sports is previewing Saturday's game against West Virginia.
And we have Mandy Bailey, who's standing by with weather.
And rain chances. I'll have more on your football forecast coming up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Now we do have a day and a little bit longer, or not longer than that, about a day and a half left until October, but we haven't really been feeling like these fall temperatures. Taking a look at the visible satellite, across the nation, you can see that there's quite a bit of cloud cover up the eastern seaboard. Now, looking at Oklahoma, not a whole lot of cloud cover over our state right now. Sunny skies throughout most of today, but if you take a look at California off on the west coast, just off the coast of California, there's more cloud cover, more storm system that is going to move on into Oklahoma later this week as we head through the rest of the week and bring us our next chance of rain and hopefully a little bit cooler temperatures, have some more fall-like weather. But until then, the drought is a major concern for our state. That is starting to creep back up. We have extreme drought now in southeastern Oklahoma, down in Texas. They're seeing some extreme drought as well. So thankfully, we still have quite a few areas that don't have drought, but throughout central Oklahoma we do have some dry areas, so nothing quite up to moderate yet, but if we don't get some rain soon, that's going to continue to creep back up in the extreme category. Now, thankfully though, we do have some rain chances in the forecast for this weekend. That Saturday, if you're headed out to the football game, keep this in mind. The models have been in a lot of disagreement up until today, so I think we'll have to really watch this closely as we continue on into Saturday. Right now, I think we have about a 40% chance to see some storms in Norman around game time heading throughout the day. Nothing like a washout, but some spotty showers are definitely possible. And up north, we have about a 60% chance to Enid, Woodward, and Tulsa for some rain on your Saturday as well. So if you're traveling in for the game, keep that in mind because it could be a little bit of a wet one. Game day forecast, kickoff 59 degrees. By the time we reach the fourth quarter, I think we'll be in the upper 60s. So grab a jacket and that rain poncho because it's going to be a little chilly as well. We're not used to these cooler temperatures. And tonight we do dip down into the 50s in some places. Norman's low at 59 degrees. Enid at 63 degrees there for our overnight lows, but most of the state will stay in the 60s overnight. So it's going to be a little chilly if you're out and about tomorrow morning, starting at that 7 a.m. hour, 59 degrees. So that's going to feel a lot cooler than those 80-degree temps that we'll see in the afternoon. We will warm up quickly. Lots and lots of sunshine for our Wednesday, and that's good news. If you have plans outside, you won't have to worry about any rain chances for your Wednesday afternoon. And across the state, though, we're going to see temperatures about the same, 80s through central and southern portions of the state. Now, notice up north, we are in the 70s. We're going to have that cold front kind of pushing through into the state, keeping us cooler in our northern portions of the state as well. Now, that 7-day forecast, though, we do see a drop in temperature as we head throughout the rest of our week. 80s Wednesday and Thursday, but as we head to the weekend, we see rain chances return back into the area. And for your game day Saturday, high of 68 there. So it's going to be a little cooler for our weekend, and then we're going to slowly start to warm up as we head into next week.
So some perfect football weather Finally.
Yes.
And I'm sick of that heat when
About
you're standing in the
time.
stands and
As
you're
long
just
as it
sweating.
doesn't rain, though. I mean, because if it rains, that kind of puts a damper on it.
We'll be tracking it closely. We'll see what gets here as we
All
get closer.
right. Well, someone else who's tracking that game is Courtney Boggs, preparing for some Big 12 sports action this weekend. Courtney, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. Baker Mayfield and the Sooners offense are up for their biggest challenge yet against West Virginia. And OU's most athletic singing sensation is ready to take on Iowa State at home. We'll tell you what this video is all about. Sports is straight ahead. I'm Courtney Boggs, and this is OU Nightly Sports. After a bye week, the Sooners are preparing to take on West Virginia Saturday at 11 o'clock. Oklahoma's new air raid offense has proven beneficial for the team, as the Sooners rank in the top 5 in the conference in both rushing and passing offense. However, they're facing a much tougher West Virginia defense this week that ranks first in the league in pass defense and second in total defense. Both the players and coaches realize what they'll be up against come game time.
Probably the best secondary we'll see for a while, but they're good players. Joseph lays the wood, and then one of Ty Darlington's high school buddies is number 9. He plays safety for him too, so it'll be good to go out there and get a good matchup for our receivers.
With the experience that they have, it'll be an advantage and something that we need to take into perspective and consider it.
It's a really good group, like I said, led by, Joseph. They're great safety, but, they got good cover guys, good corners. They mix up their coverages. They'll man you up. They'll, roll the corners up, both sides or one side or the other. They mix it up, but they're good players.
The volleyball team hosts Iowa State tomorrow night at 6 p.m. inside McCaslin Fieldhouse. In light of this week's Big 12 matchup, the Queens of the Court were hanging out in Studio D last night with the Sooner Sports Pad crew. Outside hitter and internet singing sensation Madison Ward spent some time on the show fielding questions from the hosts.
Really, we're wanting to be a lot more effective defensively, and offensively we can still be scoring a lot more, but defensively I think is where we struggled this past match, so that's something we've been really paying attention to detail on.
How about you yourself? You're second on the team in kills, first in kills per set. How would you rate your performance? How would you rate your performance so far this season?
I would say it's all right, but I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done. Like, we've just begun, so to really wait and think about that for too long, I think would kind of bite all of us. So we need to be working on what's coming up next.
Meanwhile, the soccer team also had some midweek action. The Sooners are headed back to Norman on Victory Lane after defeating Oral Roberts 2-1 earlier this afternoon. Goalie Cassidy Stade made a few solid saves for the Sooners, while Kaylee Dow scored the winning goal. The girls will play again this Friday at Illinois State. And Aaron Rodgers dominated the offensive game on Monday Night Football with 5 touchdown passes against Kansas City. Rodgers making moves early, scoring in the first with an 8-yard pass to Ty Montgomery. Later in the first, Rodgers hits Randall Cobb with a short 3-yarder. Jamal Charles puts the Chiefs on the board by bulldozing his way into the end zone. But at the end of the night, there's just too much Rodgers for Kansas City to shut down. He finished 13 of 15 for 159 yards, leading the Packers to a 38-28 win over the Chiefs. And finally, Hall of Fame QB Steve Young really likes doing his Ray Lewis impression. Last year, Young went viral doing the former linebacker's famous entrance dance. And last night, Young got jiggy again for the Packers fans at Lambeau Field. And by the way, guys, today is Kevin Durant's birthday. So hopefully he can get a gift for all of us and stay healthy this season.
I need to get myself to a Thunder game. I haven't been yet in my 4 years living in Norman.
What? They're the best.
I need to go.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Well, thank you, Courtney.
And still to come on OU Nightly, we'll have another look at that 7-day forecast.
Plus, Fraps. Be sure to get free coffee with your cream and sugar for National Coffee Day. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Anna Whitney at the OU Nightly Update Desk, recapping today's top stories. Chesapeake Energy underwent a round of layoffs today, eliminating more than 700 positions. The company employs about 2,500 people in OKC. And Republican presidential candidates Carly Fiorina and Jeb Bush are late to the party. They are scheduled to talk with independent oil and natural gas producers in Oklahoma today. However, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz already spoke to the same organization earlier this year. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
All right, and that's it for us. Thanks for watching OU Nightly.
See you tomorrow at 4:30.
Have a good evening.